Hi guys, Sister Scaleback. Thought I'd come in for a little girl talk today. It's kind of late at night. Jerry's gone to bed. No men around. So let's talk girl stuff. I said I would come back in if there was anything new, and there is something new. It just happened. Recently I went to my gynecologist to try and find out what I should do about the fibroids that I have, and it turns out that I don't really have to do anything. They're not causing me any discomfort. There is no issue with them. They can just continue right through, and probably after menopause will shrink enough. I thought I was going to have a hysterectomy. I was like really worried about it, but apparently I don't have to, which is great. But at that time, I mentioned that I was on a hormone pill and had been since 1999. It's called Diane 35. And I don't know if you've heard in the news, over the last several years, they've had reports that Diane 35 was known to cause blood clots, thrombosis. What's the, when you have surgery, you got to worry about the blood clot in the leg. Diane 35 is known to cause that. It also causes liver inflammation and liver diseases. Or has been shown to have a greater increase of these things. I've been on it since 1999, and I was put on it back then by an endocrinologist who diagnosed me with PCOS, or polycystic ovarian syndrome, which includes various symptoms such as high testosterone level, hirsutism, which is, excessive hair growth, especially arms, back, male pattern hair growth, not something women are very fond of. And high level of insulin, leading to insulin resistance. So I was not diabetic in 1999, I was pre-diabetic or insulin resistant. And so I was given metformin as a preventative. And of course that didn't seem to do anything, because eventually within 5-6 years of that I actually became diabetic while I was taking the metformin. However, the Diane 35 did help decrease the hair growth on the lip, on the chin. It did help stop the thinning of the hair, which also happens with polycystic ovarian syndrome and high testosterone. And if you can imagine, a lot of men who go bald do so because they have high testosterone as well. Our testosterone in women is a little bit different than the stuff men have, but it still does do the same thing if you have too much of it. It also gives you a high sex drive if you have a lot of testosterone, even in women. And so when I was put on Diane 35, my libido basically came to a crashing halt. My mood swung from extremely calm one minute to extremely irate the next minute over little things. Now, it's complicated with me because I also have a diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder, and that is also, as I discussed in my previous video, a symptom. So I didn't notice or think of that symptom being due to the Diane 35. And I thought, well, if it's going to stop the high testosterone, it's going to get it under control, the PCOS, maybe eventually it'll stop my type 2 diabetes, which of course didn't happen. Instead, the metabolic syndrome that I had from PCOS developed into my morbid obesity, which really started from about, I want to say, 95, 94, just after I married my second husband, onward. So anyways, fast forward, I don't want to go through my whole history here, but fast forward, now all of a sudden, because my endocrinologist who prescribed me Diane 35 retired, I never had follow-up. My general practitioner just kept renewing my refills for Diane 35. And I've been on that 16 years. Because I developed fibroids. I don't know how many of you ladies out there have had fibroids. If, you know, when your period begins, it just never stops if you have fibroids. It's a non-stop issue. And so to prevent that, I asked my doctor if it was okay to just never stop taking the pill. Like, I just don't have a period. And I was advised by a few, no problem. As long as, you know, you keep taking the pill, the lining never builds up and never needs to shed. So I have not had a period in several years, on purpose, by design. So, needless to say, Diane 35 has been a big part of my being. And I never really correlated the mood swings to the pill. I thought it was my other mental issue. Anyway, the gynecologist I went to see did say that Diane 35, you know, because of the risk of clotting and so on, they're very, very surprised, because if I was going to have an issue, 120 pounds ago when I was morbidly obese would have been when I was going to have the issue. And since I didn't, I'm probably one of those ones that can continue to use it and it wouldn't be an issue. Likely. Never a guarantee. But I am nervous about it, so I decided. And then I thought, well, maybe I should just see if that helps my mood swings on top of that. So we're trying now. I don't know if any of you ladies have ever tried it. Mervala. Never even heard of it. But the gynecologist said that that was the closest. It's slightly less estrogen. And it is the closest to Diane 35 that they have. But because it's a different kind of a progesterone, it may help me with my mood swings or what have you. There's so many different kinds of progesterone out there that it really is trial and error. So here I go. Now I'm a year post-op, as most of you know, and the thought of trial and error with hormones scares me, but I'm willing to do it because I haven't done anything to change the way I've been for 16 years when it comes to these hormones. Maybe I need to try. But I'm afraid of it affecting my weight loss or my weight gain or my journey as far as, you know, the 18-month honeymoon phase, as they call it. Active weight loss period. So that's the news. I, you know, posted a little bit about that on Facebook, just that I was going to be switching my hormone pills up, and if I get a little crazy, please forgive me, but honestly, I really mean it. I don't know how I'm going to react, and if I do get a little weird, you know, tell me, hey. I don't know. Hormones, they rule us, you know. We are made up of hormones, and so I don't know if any of you have ever taken that pill. Let me know. I know everybody's experience is different, and side effects are different for everybody. If anyone has taken Diane 35 and stopped, or even if they take it and they have some experiences to tell me about with it, so I can just see if I had similar reactions that I was attributing maybe to something else without realizing it was the Diane 35. So anyway, it's 9 minutes. I'm not going to ramble, but I just thought I'd come in and go over a little bit of girl talk. I am still not going to stop taking the pill to allow myself to have a period because of the fibroids. Usually around 52 or 53 years of age is when my gynecologist says that they will consider that I may be in menopause and look at treatment for that. But as long as I'm taking this pill, I will not probably feel the effects of menopause if I go into it. I have been tested, so I'm not there yet, but we don't like the monthly, so we're just going to keep taking it. So that's it for me, guys. And hey, That's it for me, ladies. Because if there's any guys watching this and you've already made it to like the 10-minute mark, I don't get that. Just saying. So have a great week, everybody, and see you in a couple of weeks. I'll let you know how it goes. Bye.